zero RB. This is a fantasy football draft strategy that you probably have heard of because it's extremely polarizing, right? Either people love it, they swear by it, they think it's the greatest thing ever, or they hate it and they think it's impossible to win a league without drafting a top running back. Today, we are going to look at what a zero RB drafted team could look like for the 2022 season. We are going to be using PPR scoring, obviously, because I think going PPR creates greater depth at the running back position, makes it at least a little bit more possible. We're going to be using the FantasyPros Draft Simulator. I like this a lot because it uses other experts' rankings for like the mock draft people on there, which I like. And the way it's set up, it makes sure that you are not going to get stuck with an auto-picked team that goes kicker in the 8th round or something like that. It's pretty realistic for the most part, relative to the ADP currently. So I like that. That's what we're going to use. I will randomize my draft position. I'll probably go through a couple different drafts just to see what happens. But first, hit the mic. But first, let's talk about what a zero RB draft strategy is, just so there's no confusion here. Okay, so zero RB, pretty self-explanatory. You're not drafting a running back for the first several rounds. And the idea around it is when everybody else goes running back heavy to start fantasy football drafts like they typically do, you are going to be picking up top players at other positions, hoping to create an advantage at all of these other positions. And then you can pick up running backs later on to basically get by at that position, right? And you're going to be picking up high potential running backs with the hope that they are an injury or something like that away from being a true contributor, a true breakout in fantasy football. And when the stars align, it's easy to see why this draft strategy really pays off. However, in my opinion, at least, the margin of error gets pretty small. However, to combat that, obviously, we are going to be picking like handy or handcuffs, obviously, for running backs, high potential ones who could be a big training camp away from being a true contributor, people like that. Those are the type of players that we are targeting. We're not targeting just middle of the road running backs. They're basically, we know their role. Regardless of injury, they're pretty much sticking in that role. That makes no sense. We need high potential people. We need boom or bust, kind of. And that's what we are going to be targeting. So let's just jump into the FantasyPros Draft Simulator and we'll see what we can come up with. Again, I don't know my draft position yet. I don't know what the team's going to look like yet. So we are going to be finding out together. Wish me luck. All right, party people, here we go. Again, this is on FantasyPros, their draft simulator. We are going to go PPR, regular league type, snake draft, 12 teams. We will randomize draft pick 7. I think we can do this. We'll go 3 wide receivers, 1 flex. So a pretty typical league. And yeah. Okay, here we go. Away we go. So we will just go to the draft board here. So Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Justin Jefferson off the board. Not too shabby. Let's hide the drafted players here. If this was a regular fantasy draft, I would probably go Dalvin Cook, but it's not. So we are going to go with Cooper Kupp with our first pick. I don't mind that at all. Again, round 6 is the first round. We will be eligible to draft a player. Looking at this now, CeeDee Lamb 6, Mike Evans 7. Those are the top 2 wide receivers on the board. Mark Andrews is on the board for tight ends. That's interesting. Josh Allen is interesting. The situation is I don't think either Josh Allen or Mark Andrews would make it back to me. So if I want that competitive advantage there, I think that's what I should do. We will go. Man, this is tough, actually. because I don't mind TJ Hawkinson as like a little bit of a deeper tight end. So I feel like I can pass and wait and get him. So I'm actually going to go Josh Allen. I know it might be a slight reach, even going 0 RB, but he's still going in the second round typically. Yeah, George Kittle is the top tight end now. T. Higgins, the top wide receiver. I don't need to go George Kittle here, so we'll go. Yeah, I would want T. Higgins. So we got a couple good wide receivers. We got Josh Allen. We are going to watch the tight end position to see how that's been drafted. But so far, so good. Round 4. DK Metcalf is interesting as a wide receiver 3. I don't mind Chris Godwin. I wouldn't go him here. We can get him later. But I do like him. And I don't really want George Kittle yet. So I'm going to go Metcalf as my wide receiver 3. Obviously, I could do a lot worse. George Kittle taken. We are, where are we at? We're at 507 right now. I'm not taking, I'm going to roll the dice. We're going to go one more wide receiver, and I might pass on running back in the 6th, to be completely honest. I might go 7, and I might try to just grab TJ Hawkinson to make sure I get him. So if I'm going another wide receiver, who has the highest ceiling? Maybe Michael Thomas, but I need to make sure I nail my wide receiver picks in 0 RB. So I'm actually going to go Allen Robinson, because the only thing that could really, really crush my strategy so far is if Cooper Kupp gets hurt. And if Cooper Kupp gets hurt, at least we know Allen Robinson will elevate in terms of value. Now here we are probably, man. Does it say his ADP on here? ADP 63 typically. And we are Okay, well, top running back on the board's J.K. Dobbins. I do like me some J.K. Dobbins. Man, fine. Round 6, we're going J.K. Dobbins as our first running back. Certainly well over 1,000 yard potential. And he declares that he will be ready for week 1, and TJ Hawkinson's there. So we will take him. Now, man, like open season. Running back is what my plan is. We are going to go Kareem Hunt, obviously handcuff with, already a large role. He is the perfect guy to draft in a 0 RB. He could be elevated to a top 10 role easily if Nick Chubb goes down, but if not, he's still pretty good. Just looking at the entire board here, none of the wide receivers scream to me. For some reason, I'm not overly, I don't love the Dolphins running backs. I don't love the Dolphins running game, to be completely honest. I'm going to go Rashad Penny. I know he's a dog. I know he's talented. Chase Edmonds, there's at least more question marks than certainty there. Just looking at my team now, let's just do that quickly. So to start it off, we got Josh Allen, J.K. Dobbins, Kareem Hunt, Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, T.J. Hawkinson, Allen Robinson, Rashad Penny. I don't mind that one bit. I'll switch it to this just in case you guys want to see who's being drafted. Madison obviously makes sense as a handcuff who could get a major role. I know in terms of ADP, I know who's most likely to be drafted next out of the running backs at least, and that's Rashad White. And I want to go Rashad White. Rookie running back in Tampa, third down guy, should take some of the pass catching duties away from Leonard Fournette, and I don't trust Leonard Fournette to stay healthy for the whole season. So I love that. I now have 4 running backs. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins, Kareem Hunt, Rashad Penny, Rashad White. So I have 4 and 4. 4 running backs, 4 wide receivers. We're going to target best available. And for me, that is wide receiver. I like what I've seen out of Devonte Parker so far. So, I mean, I can't complain. We're going to go Devonte Parker, especially as a wide receiver 5. I love the potential. It's been Devonte Parker's breakout year for what feels like the past decade. Maybe this is finally the year. I see their top suggestion is Jamal Williams, and that is who I was hoping would be there, actually. And if Gus Edwards is there next round, we're going to take Gus Edwards. Looks like he is. I think that's already updated. Yeah, we got to go Gus Edwards. We took J.K. Dobbins. We cannot screw up our running backs. Like I talked about, margin of error is very, very small. And if we get both of the top running backs in Baltimore when they are healthy, then I feel good. Roster update. That means we have 6 running backs. I'm not sure if I need to go another running back the rest of the way. We will just see how the draft goes. But what I am going to do, the whole point of going 0 RB is so you have a competitive advantage at every other position, essentially. And because of that, I'm willing to go defense here. Let's just figure it out. Looking at them, like at least I want a fast start. If we can get a few wins off the bat, then, there's going to be running backs to pick up that have value, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to go San Francisco. I like the way their season starts. Chicago, Seattle, Denver. You never know what Denver is even going to look like this year. They also have a couple other easy games mixed in before their bye. I'll go San Francisco. I like it. And then if I'm going for draft grade, I would draft a kicker. If I'm going for me at this point, we're talking August, early August right now, first week of August. I'm not drafting a kicker at all. I'm drafting a lottery ticket, a guy who could, with a great camp, with an injury, would vault into relevancy. That's what I want. I would rather stream kickers. I'd rather drop my kicker every single week and pick up the top of waiver wire ad and then drop someone right before kickoff and then pick up a kicker. That's the way I like to play it. That's the way I've had success so far, in fantasy. I'm not going to mix that up. However, we're going for grade here. We're going for prestige. We're going for what I would do if the season started tomorrow. And if the season started tomorrow, I'm probably going to go kicker and then hope Nico Collins is there because I like what Nico Collins is doing. If Nico Collins gets taken, maybe I go someone like Curtis Samuel, KJ Osborne, Paris Campbell's been showing out in camp. Wan'Dale Robinson has a major role. Jalen Tolbert, obviously. Michael Gallup's not going to be ready right away. There's a lot of good wide receivers available. Tight ends, I don't need another tight end, I don't believe. And then running back, if I'm going another running back, Kenyon Drake's kind of buried on the depth chart. Maybe, honestly, I don't like any of them. Maybe I'd go Zamir White, but yeah, I'm good with this. So what we are going to do, we're going to go Tyler Bass. We'll just take that boy there. We're going to get a good grade, and then we will go the wide receiver of our choosing, which is going to be Nico Collins. Called the perfect compliment to Brandon Cooks by Lovie Smith. So a B, 84 out of 100 for a 0 RB drafted team drafting in the 7th spot of a 12-team PPR league. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this team? Would you be happy rolling into the season with this team? To be completely honest, I don't mind this team, but there's specific choices that I would have made if I could have taken a running back, in the early rounds. I wouldn't have gone Josh Allen in the second. I probably wouldn't have gone DK Metcalf. There's different decisions I would have made, but I can work with this. Let's do one more. Let's do one more here. Okay, here we go. One more draft. Same settings as before, and we are picking Number 6 is too similar. I want to do something. Okay, 2. This is very different than what we just did. So, yeah. Like, we can't go running back right away. Jonathan Taylor off the board. That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. I would still go Cooper Kupp, to be completely honest. I love me some Justin Jefferson this year, but we'll just go Cooper Kupp. Whatever. Who cares? We got a clear wide receiver 1. That's the point. And then we're going to have 2 picks pretty close to each other. This is very different. Mark Andrews off the board, Josh Allen on the board. Man. It is interesting to go Josh Allen, Kyle Pitts. Not gonna lie. Just because of what we did last time, I'm going to try to mix it up and do something different. Purely why I'm not going to draft Josh Allen. But we are going to draft Kyle Pitts, and then we're going to take a wide receiver, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, just because I like him more. Well, actually, let's just look at the bye weeks. It's not the same, I'm pretty sure. It's not showing. I'm pretty sure we're fine. I'm going to go Keenan Allen. I like Keenan Allen more than Mike Evans as a player. Okay, pick 411. Justin Herbert is still on the board. I'm willing to risk Justin Herbert getting taken because I'm fine with going Lamar Jackson with the second pick. And, Tim Patrick out for the year. That sucks, obviously, but we will go Cortland Sutton as wide receiver 3 over DK Metcalf. Again, I'm trying to differentiate from the last draft a little bit, and Justin Herbert was taken. I'm fine with going Lamar Jackson. He is one of my favorite MVP futures bets right now. I think he could have a monster year. And oh, by the way, the odds are very, very kind. So we're at pick 611 now. Running backs are on the board for us. We don't need quarterback. We don't need tight end. TJ Hawkinson is still available. I probably would have liked that value over Kyle Pitts there, but oh well. Good wide receivers available. I'm fine passing. I'm fine going back-to-back running backs. We will go J.K. Dobbins again, and then I'm fine with going – I'll go A.J. Dillon. Fine. I think he's a little bit overvalued for fantasy overall, but obviously if Aaron Jones goes down, Aaron Jones has struggled to stay healthy for a full season, obviously. I'm fine with going him, and Kareem Hunt's still there. I'm going to take Kareem Hunt. I'm not going to risk him getting away. I got 3 running backs that I feel pretty good about, actually. I don't mind this at all. Wide receivers here. They are all sort of the same type of person to me. So, you know what? Because Dolphins fans are so bitter online and they get insulted when I say they have too many mediocre running backs, I will do a kind thing and pass on him for Damian Harris. I still think he's going to be the red zone guy for the Patriots. If he's going to get touchdowns, then I think he's fine as a running back 4. I think Kenny Golladay is undervalued. I see Sky Moore there. I think Sky Moore is interesting as well, but I think Kenny Golladay is extremely undervalued, especially if the offensive line gives Daniel Jones any kind of protection this year. Sky Moore's still there, obviously. And yeah, why not? Sky Moore, wide receiver 5. Cool. Works for me. Thank you. We probably need 2 more running backs, 1 wide receiver is probably the way I'll go. Jamal Williams here. I like that value a ton. He's an absolute stud. I should go Gus Edwards. That's a responsible thing to do with also having J.K. Dobbins. And yeah, looking at those wide receivers, I'm fine with it. So I love that. I really like this team. I'm not going to lie. I think this is decent. The issue is having both Lamar Jackson and J.K. Dobbins. Obviously, that week 10 bye is a little bit weird. Also, I mean, you can talk about, people talk about stacking in terms of having your quarterback and wide receiver. Having Lamar Jackson and J.K. Dobbins is kind of the reverse of stacking. If one gets the goal line carry, the other one does not, right? So that could be a slight potential issue. However, I don't put too much stock into it. I think I legitimately think there's 3 1,000-yard rushers on the Ravens this year. So I think it's going to be okay. Last pick, I'm going to go. Yeah, I would still do 49ers defense. Again, same thought process as last time. I want to start out fast. And then Deontay Foreman, interesting if Derrick Henry gets, especially right now. If it's, again, if I'm drafting right now, I'm for sure taking Deontay Foreman just in case Christian McCaffrey gets hurt before the season. That's the no-brainer smart move to do. I'm pretending the season starts tomorrow, and that still might be the smart thing to do for a 0 RB team, but we will go Justin Tucker. Why not? We are stacking the entire Ravens team. Screw it. Who cares? Who cares? If only I had Mark Andrews. Again, Nico Collins, I like it. Deontay Foreman still on the board if I wished to do that, but I won't. Instead, we will go. I'll go Paris Campbell. Give him his props. He's healthy. He's looking good. A 90 out of 100, A-. And yeah, I like this team a lot better than the last one. I actually, before getting picked 2 going into that mock draft there, I thought this was going to be a team I liked less. But let me know. What do you think of this team? I like this quite a bit. I would be more than happy to go into the season this way, which now then raises the question, can a 0 RB drafted team work for this year? If you go by the rules I put in place, which is you can start drafting your team in round 6, or drafting running back in round 6, rather, I think this could work. On the flip side, I've also been on the record of saying this offseason, I'm fine rolling into round 7, round 8 with only one wide receiver on my board. I think the values are completely messed up right now. I think there's a lot of players going late that are clearly going to be better than people give them credit for. And by the end of the summer, that may not be the case. So maybe we will revisit this. But if you're drafting a season-long league today, I think you could do a 0 RB strategy and legitimately have it work. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss any other videos. Hit the bell as well to be notified. We do live streams with fantasy football and NFL betting content. Obviously, videos like this. Every weekday in August, we're actually coming out with a football-related video, whether it's fantasy football, NFL betting. So tell me in the comments as well, what topics do you want to see? If you say something you want to see, I'll do it. Like, just let me know. I don't have ideas. I'm coming up with these the morning of. So if you have something you specifically want to see, let me know. And I'll see you next time. Bye.